What up, guys? Flash Shark is having a huge Father's Day sale. Make sure to check out their website. Go over all the Father's Day deals that they got going on. But aside from that, we are going to be installing a set of long tube headers on Braven's truck today. They have a set of long tube headers for just about anything and everything that you want to put a set of long tube headers on. But specifically for Braven's truck, look at that, bro. Look at the price. Look at the price. $298. What? You can't beat that. And it comes with a white pipe. Not to mention, you even get a discount off of that. Flash Shark gives the DB fam a discount. The link is in the description down below, as well as the promotional code. Go save some money and put some long tubes on your truck. Believe me, your truck wants long tubes. It most certainly wants long tubes. Hell, you want long tubes. Go buy yourself some long tubes for Father's Day. I give you permission. Don't tell nobody.
Boom! So Flash Shark actually sponsored today's video. These are some long tube headers for old Chawpito. So we're gonna get these, go ahead and get these unboxed and stuff and show you everything that comes with these long tube headers. But we're gonna get these installed a little bit later on in the video. First things first, we're actually gonna go through and redo the fuel system. So that's the first thing on today's agenda. But then we're gonna circle back and get old Chawpito, like I said, back together. So I'm pretty stoked for that. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to today's video. In today's video, we're going to be working on the old Chawp. You guys remember the Yukon, of course. This is the Cam 5.3 LS that came out of the Colorado. We swapped it in there, and then we had some issues with the pump. We had some issues on the pump with the transmission, this and that, and then that's what kind of led me in the direction of going into Hughes and then getting the job there. So that's just kind of just a brief, you know, little bit of an explanation of where it all started. Well, we ended up getting the Yukon back, as you guys remember, and it had an issue. It wasn't driving. There was something wrong with the transmission. So a little bit of time has passed and we actually got the old transmission out, as you guys seen in a previous video. We ended up having to get that fixed, but we'll circle back to that. The main focus at the moment is going to be the fuel system. So the stock fuel system had a hard line. This is the main feed. This had a hard line going up to this filter that's screwed on there, and then went over to a flexible line that then attached to this stock flex fuel sensor. This is a stock flex fuel vehicle, so it does have the flex fuel unit built into the system from factory. I didn't want to get rid of that, so what I did was I ended up ordering some snap-on fittings. So these basically just push, they're quick disconnect fittings that push on. So I got those to dash 6. And then I also got this hardline adapter to dash 6. So it'll no longer have the filter in between it. It'll end up having the Corvette style filter. It'll now have this Corvette style filter actually bolted onto the frame underneath. If you guys remember, this right here where this snapped in, originally snapped onto this fuel rail and was pushing up against the firewall, which was definitely an issue. We definitely did not like that. So we ended up changing that all up. So now this will be underneath the truck and we'll have the return system all in there. And the only line that's going to come up to the fuel rail is going to be the one feed line. So that's the whole reason why we ended up redoing all the fuel system, was just so that we can clean up that one thing. Now on the next part of the agenda of things that we need to fix, that we ordered parts for, is going to be the oil pressure sensor. So whenever I got rid of the Yukon, they were having issues with blowing out oil pressure sensors because it has an upgraded oil pump, and that's for the, of course, upgraded camshaft. Now I never had an issue with the sensor blowing out. I've never had an issue with the sensor giving off any codes or anything like that. So of course I didn't replace it then, and I didn't know that it couldn't handle the upgraded pressures. So now that I did a little bit of research, and now definitely building the Colorado, I have figured out that there is other options. Now Low Dollar Motorsports makes this 150 psi sensor that is to an 1/8 inch NPT. Well, LS doesn't have an 1/8 inch NPT on the actual block itself, so we ordered this little adapter right here, and this adapter right here will screw. This adapter right here will end up screwing into the block, and then allowing us to screw this sensor in replacement of that stock sensor that can't hold up to the pressures. So that's number 2 on the list of things that need to be replaced. Now, like I said, this is a Low Dollar Motorsports. You can find these on Amazon. And then we got all new PTFE lines, so we can run E85 on this thing. So this thing will be full flex fuel setup. As you can tell here, you can kind of see the oil buildup, and that's from whenever it sprayed out and actually sprayed all over the firewall and stuff. So we got that all fixed up. The third main problem with the Yukon is going to be the transmission and converter. So as you can tell, I have the transmission here. It actually is already rebuilt and ready to go. I ended up rebuilding this unit myself, so I took it all apart and everything and got it all put back together with all brand new clutches, steels, etc., gasket kits and all that kind of stuff. So there was nothing wrong with the transmission after further diagnosing it. The only issue they had was with this triple disc converter. So this is a triple disc lockup converter. It is a 9-inch. It is about a 2000 to 2500 stall, in between there. I think it's about a 22, but it is a 9-inch converter. So it is definitely peppier than the stock 12-inch converters and 13-inch converters that come, and of course 406s and 480s, right? Well, we ended up getting that freshened over at Hughes Performance, of course, the best in the game. So we got that done. Now we have everything freshened up for transmission wise, so that's all ready to go, good to go. For now, what we're going to focus on is getting all the fuel system done. We're going to focus on getting the oil pressure sensor in and getting this intake manifold bolted back on, and basically have everything ready to go so that we can install the new headers and also the transmission and get everything all buttoned up and ready to go, because I'm so ready to get my daily back. This thing is float like a Cadillac, honestly, man. This thing drives so smooth. It has great interior, perfect AC, nice window tint. I can't wait to put money into this thing and stop putting money into that damn thing out there, because although it's a nice truck, it's a money pit for me. All right, so we got everything bolted on temporarily. We got the fitting here ran from the hard line. We have the flex fuel sensor bolted in through the cross member bolt, how it normally bolts in, and then we also got the fuel filter bolted in as well. So the main feed's going to go through this side, and then it's going to come out here and go up to the fuel rail. This side is going to loop back around to return. This is the stock hardline for return. I left some on there. I have a fitting that's actually going to crimp onto here that goes from A in line. So then it's probably going to be up here in this straight area, but we'll figure that out once that comes. So right now I'm going to go ahead and grab my bundle of different angled fittings and go through here and kind of get an idea of how I'm mapping all this stuff out, so that we have a pretty good idea where everything's going to run. This should be plenty enough fittings. I'll just kind of have to flip-flop and figure out which ones are going to be best where. So we'll get that going right now. Okay, so we got all the fittings basically ran how they're going to be ran through here. Now we just got to go through and start making all the lines and stuff. So this is the fun part, because I need to make one crossing over to there, one over there, so that's 2, and then there's 3, and then there's 4. So it's 4 lines I gotta make, and it's PTFE line. So yeah, I'll probably be here till it's dark. It's okay though. So as long as the fuel system is done by the end of tonight, I will be happy. So we got 3 of the main lines done, just 1 more to go, and that's gonna be from the filter up to the fuel rail itself. But I don't have the fuel rail actually in there with the manifold, so we're going to do that oil pressure sensor first. But we're going to go ahead and get those lines installed. I'm going to kind of give you an idea of how everything is routed. So let's go ahead and get down there and show you what's up. Alright, so it's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but the main feed goes through here, goes to the flex fuel sensor, runs up to this fuel filter. From the fuel filter, it'll go up into the fuel rails from this point up, and then here's the return, and then it'll return into the stock return line. The return system part is the only part that I don't really like, but you know what? It's gonna work, so we're just gonna run it like that for now. All right, so now we're gonna focus on putting the new oil pressure sensor in there, so we can go ahead and get the intake manifold back installed, so we can make the final fuel line. Ooh, stock oil pressure sensor out. Now I'm gonna install the adapter. Hopefully it screws in the way it's supposed to. Oh yeah. Okay, let me tighten that thing real quick. And now here is the upgraded oil pressure sensor. Plug from the harness, plugs right into there with no problem. Okay, so now Now that that is complete and done, we're gonna go ahead and focus on putting the intake manifold back on, and then calling her a day. So that should be pretty. Oh, actually, you know what? After putting the intake manifold on, we'll do the fuel line, and then we'll call it a day. Oh man, I'm almost ready for retirement at this point. Okay, so now that the intake manifold is back on, everything's plugged in and it's bolted in all the way, I can go ahead and create the last AN line. Realistically, the engine is kind of leaning back. As you can tell, I can pull it forward. So what I'm gonna do is whenever I create the AN line, I'm gonna leave a lot of slack in there, just so that I can also remove it. And when I remove it in the future, I wanna be able to like prop it up here so I don't have to worry about it falling down and it barely reaching, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna figure out the absolute shortest it can be, and then add probably like a foot to it so that I can route it and create extra, extra slack for it. So only thing that the engine bay needs now is the cold air intake installed back on, and also the headers. So I'm just gonna wait for the cold air intake for when the headers are back on. But yeah, not too much more to go. Just a few more steps away from this thing being done. All right, so we got the final line complete. I'm gonna go ahead and get it installed. I just went ahead and tested the fuel system. I connected the jump pack to this thing, turned on the key, and out of everywhere, this thing only leaked in one spot, and the one spot it leaked was actually the one fitting that I ended up reusing. I got it from my dad. He had it on the Blazer before. Well, I ended up reusing it on here, and it's the only fitting that actually leaked. And it was a different style fitting. I was just trying to use it so I didn't have to order another one, or even just use it to be able to make the lines and stuff. I mean, by all means, I don't really care. I'll order another one, but I did end up ordering another one. That's the only one that leaked, so I didn't get a good actual representation of the system for you guys. So I'm gonna just go ahead and pick up the camera first thing tomorrow. Well, not first thing tomorrow, first thing tomorrow when I get back from work. So I'll see you guys then. Okay, peace. What's up, guys? So it's currently the next day. We are picking back up where we left off last night on the old Chawpito. So currently we are going ahead and moving on to the next big step, and that is going to be the long tube headers. Just like in the beginning of the video, I showed you guys these headers. This is actually the Flash Shark special here. This is the long tube headers with the Y pipe. Flash Shark also sent us out some additional piping that we're going to end up using to complete the full exhaust system, because this is a true dual X pipe setup exhaust. So we're going to keep it that way, but just with long tubes. So we're probably not going to use all of this. We're only going to use a portion of it, but we're going to make it work either way nonetheless. We're going to go ahead and get started on getting these things installed. It's going to be pretty sexy in there, I'm not going to lie to you. So Flash Shark also supplied us with all the hardware that's necessary to bolt this thing up. So now we're gonna go ahead and get these headers bolted in all the way. I already got the other side all ready to go. Now I just gotta go through and run these bolts through here. As soon as the headers are done, then we're able to move on to installing the transmission. I'm pretty stoked about putting the transmission back in this thing. This thing is just that much closer to being back on the road again. So the Yukon officially has long tube headers again. I'm pretty stoked about that. Whenever I first got this thing, I did have long tubes, and then whenever the engine blew up, I actually sold the full exhaust off of it to kind of recoup some money to get this thing back on the road. Back in my days of not having much money to spend for this thing, but I was also planning on turboing it, so it wasn't really that big of a deal. But then I ended up putting it back together with the engine from the Colorado. So then I ended up taking the log manifolds off the Colorado and reusing those for this. So this thing was stuck with these old crusty dusty log manifolds. So now it has long tube headers again, so I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm really excited to let you guys go ahead and hear this thing, but we're not going to be able to let you hear it until the transmission's in, so we got to hurry up.
Take her on up there, boy wonder.
Boy, I wonder when I'm gonna start listening.
Don't do such quick movements, you know. What's all this oil from? Rear name?
Hey. No, the roommate says actually good. It's the oil pan gasket. And all the gaskets on that engine are brand new.
Is it good for me? You know, after all these transmissions we've done, and we have yet to have bought a transmission jack.
It's because we're pros. Professionals don't need the transmission jack.
Never gets less sketchy, I swear.
It never did. Except for on the Silverado, it's really sketchy. Oh shit, she's spinning.
Why did this?
Oh god.
I do have bolts. Do I know where bolts are? No.
Your dad's like, put the damn bolt on.
It's not lined up. I feel like I just gave birth.
You have to get it in there, trans boy.
Trenny boy! Oh my god, bro, my groin fucking hurts. Oh shit. Gotta kill at least one. Oh shit. Your bolt came out. Ooh, it's in flesh now. If we put it on the mount.
Oh, it's good. Now we're just getting our bolt for up here.
Yeah.
Do you have another bolt?
Not with me.
Oh my god.
Where do we find it?
Just lay here for a second.
He's sitting on the couch. I'm just kidding. He's not.
Oh my god.
Are you okay, babe?
Everything hurts. Damn, this is what the underneath of my C10 is gonna look like.
Does he have the same rear end and stuff as your C10? Or
Yeah,
your?
it's all the same, except for his 5.3.
Hey.
Oh shit.
I can't help the size. I was born this way.
Oh, watch your face.
I don't think that's screwed in, bud. I'm still trying to find the hole. Mine's in. Oh my god.
Yeah, in between the jack.
Ooh. Alright guys, so we made pretty good progress tonight. So the transmission is actually installed, long tube headers are installed, and of course we finished the fuel system yesterday. So tomorrow I'll be able to come home, get the transfer case installed, all the drive shafts, get all the little things all plugged in, get the converter all bolted to the flex plate, and then the last thing that we'll need to do is go ahead and finish up the exhaust, and then this bad girl will be ready to start up. So it is definitely really close to being done, but we still got probably another good day's worth of labor to be able to for sure say, where's the good lighting, be able to for sure say this thing is done and ready to drive. So man, I've never been so excited to get a car done before. This Yukon is my everything. The only problem is that currently the Yukon is my storage for all of my interior parts for the Colorado, which I don't know whether or not I need them yet, so I don't want to throw them away. I haven't made my decision. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow, where we're gonna go ahead and finish up the Yukon. Peace.